So actually, one of the questions I have for you tonight was, it hasn't been a fun season, and you just sort of clarified that. Like, and I don't even mean from your point of view. You got to win, obviously everything else. I just even mean like from the teams and the mechanics and the riders, like Birmingham, and we've had like one race at Glendale that was like a quote unquote normal race. It's been a slog, man. It's been tough for everybody.
Yeah, it's been a grind. I would say, like, I mean, I don't know. To be honest, like, even Indy and like this weekend, I normally, like, last year and the years in the past, I haven't liked those. So I grew up riding the Rust, and normally that is my strong point. But like, I've tended, you go back and look at it, a lot of my bad races were in those kind of conditions. And this year, luckily, I've been better in them, because pretty much every race has been in that kind of like ruddy, like breaking down super fast. Even Detroit was like that. But I don't know. I mean, I haven't thought it was too bad. I mean, the mud, I'm kind of over. But when you have 10 open stadiums and only 5 closed, like, you're asking to get mud races. Like, it's just might as well be racing outdoors.
Yeah, it is. Yeah, it's been tough, man. And even covering the sport, because I go back in and I talk to riders and teams, and like, guys are like, I can't even really push out there. I'm just trying to survive. And that's not so much at your level, Chase, but, you know, further back, like, you know, other guys are just, I'm trying to survive. I can't race. I'm just focusing on doubling this rhythm section. Right. And that doesn't sound like fun. Now, obviously, you're one of the best in the world, so you're fine. But, yeah, it's just guys further back are dying out there. So
yeah, I don't know. In my opinion, I think when, like, I mean, a mud race is a mud race, but that's survival. But when the tracks are like Indy last weekend, like, it's a technical track. The better riders are going to shine. I feel like that's kind of why those conditions separate more, which I actually like that it separates, because it really separates the guys that are really good and the guys that can't really ride those conditions, or not scared, but they're timid.
Right.
So for me, I don't mind them. Like, it's the gnarlier the better.
So how's the suspension?
Oh boy.
How's the suspension?
Yeah, we haven't talked about this a lot.
I knew that was coming.
Just wondering, just curious. I don't know, just curious.
Yeah.
Okay.
No, like I said on the press conference, we made I wouldn't say a big change, but we made a change this weekend before the heat race. And that's like, it almost like just like flipped the switch. It went from being like, I was like on the edge of being mad or okay with the bike. Like, I was kind of in the middle. Like, I didn't know what to think. And then I went to the heat race, and we did something and just went into it blind, and it was immediately, I obviously stalled it, which didn't help. But after that, I even before that, I was riding good. I felt comfortable. My exits and my turns are better, so it's getting better. It hasn't been easy for me or the team. I mean, for me, like, it's tough when you're not super comfortable, but also with the team, they're doing everything they possibly can to get me comfortable. So it's just been a learning curve this year. I don't know why I thought this, like, going from aluminum frame to a steel frame wasn't going to be that big of a difference, but and I rode the bike, like, obviously, so like it's, I don't know, it was a bigger change than I thought it was going to be. But the team's been awesome. They've been doing everything they can to get better, and then obviously me getting better too. It's been slowly on the rise.
Yeah, I heard Roger's one of those guys that's pushing, you know, the factory, the very important people about doing whatever they can to make you happy and make it better. Roger's been really aggressive that way, you know.
No, Roger's been awesome. He's pretty old school, but he's really been like on my side and pushing to get things done, which I have to respect. Yeah, it's been awesome, and they're not afraid to try stuff. That's the one thing. They're open to a lot of things, and it's pretty cool to be a part of that. Like I said, it's taken longer than I think any of us wanted to, but we're slowly getting better, and I think these next few races, even to the end of the Supercross season, we should start seeing more of how I can race, and I think last weekend was kind of a telltale sign of that.
I just like how he's very open, right? Like, he says he changed the bike. I'm going to ask him softer or stiffer, but like, you've always been good about letting us normal people that are watching the broadcast or just fans that are techie that love dirt bikes in general, like, hey, what is Chase doing? Like, okay, setup. You know, we watch F1, we watch NASCAR, and we get to know more, and I think Chase brings some of that for our sport. And I don't know if you get in trouble afterwards, but
I do get in trouble.
Do you? So you really get shit for it afterwards?
I know last year when he talked about the Honda on this show, he didn't get in trouble, but they're like, hey, man, that's a lot of information you gave those idiots on Pulp.
But
I was giving a lot of information now. And what the thing is I don't understand, it's not like a guy.
Right.
Say I'm riding a Honda or I'm riding a KTM. No one's going to take anything that I have off my bike and put it on a Kawasaki.
No.
It doesn't matter.
Right.
But I don't know. There's things that I obviously can't say, but I try and be open as much as I can, because if I was watching or wondering what people are doing, not if I was just a fan of the sport, I would want to know. And they don't really people are just super uptight about what goes on, which I don't think that's right. I think it's everyone, even just in the sport in general, I feel like everyone's trying to be secretive about stuff when it's not rocket science. It's kind of just trying to be creative too.
Kind of blows out my next question then. He's going to get in trouble if he answers this. But I want to ask it, and you're going to say I can't answer it if you can't answer it. So what we call in the testing world, I don't know if you guys use this on race team side, it was called track toughness of a bike. Track toughness is, hey, we're going to make a change, and then that change adapts to several different types of conditions as well as tracks. Is this KTM with the frame, the things that you've done, the suspension, is this bike getting better track toughness where you can go to different areas and the bike feels the same to you?
Yeah, definitely.
Okay.
I think pre-season I struggled. I think a lot of people heard that I was struggling pretty bad. Just when the track got rough and beat up, I was having a hard time riding.
Yeah.
How I should. And to be honest, if you'd have seen me before Anaheim won, you would have thought that I was going to be 15th at best. It was bad. It was I'm not saying it was code red bad. And not all of it's on the bike. I got such in a hole where I don't even know. It was I didn't trust what was not that I didn't trust the bike, but I was second guessing everything, and I would not second guessing Moon and the team, but just the bike in general. I didn't know what was going on, what was the problem, and I was in a super deep hole. And then this whole season I just kind of been digging myself out of that. And like I said, it's not really the team or anyone's fault. It's just moving to a different team and learning a different bike is really tough and a lot tougher than I thought. And I was maybe not ready for it all, but just when I was riding rougher tracks, when I came from California to Florida, I was really struggling. And now I've been having consistent weeks. I haven't been having these freakouts, or not freakouts, but just tough days struggling with the bike. I've been doing motos, and it's definitely getting better. I'm really, really happy with how they've been working, and it's we're not going to stop. We're still going to keep trying to get better, but it's just at this point we're making small increments every week, and it's been helping.
I just wish when these riders talk about their bikes, KTMs, whatever, that the upper corporation, the brass, would be he's not saying his bike's a piece of shit. So the average consumers, I'm not going to buy a KTM factory edition. Chase says he has to change his shit all the time. It's so different. People are working, hey, what's the measurement from your swing arm pivot to your axle? It doesn't matter for Joe Blow going to Glen Helen.
Right.
It's different.
That's what they think, though. That's what they think.
I will say this, and this is not this is no blowing smoke up KTM or anything, but I rode a stock KTM on outdoors. I don't know. I was in California. I rode this rough turn track, actually, next to Lake Elsinore, which we're not supposed to ride it, but it's in this riverbed and super rough. I rode a stock.
Oh yeah, I remember that.
KTM.
Yeah.
Stock KTM. It was super fun to ride.
Right.
And that almost made me more mad. I was this thing's good. Why am I struggling so bad?
But do you feel would you rather start in this, and maybe you did, I don't know if you did, would you rather start with just a production bike and then start building your way into your race bike? Have you done that?
Yeah, honestly, since then we've kind of gone back to pretty much. I'm not saying stock, but we're pretty stock, I would say, for a factory bike. It's obviously it's got cool stuff on it, but it's pretty stock, I would say. And that's kind of what kind of got my butt kicked in gear was I rode this because I didn't I never really ridden a lot of stock bikes, but when I didn't get on it thinking, oh, this thing's going to be great. I had so much fun that day riding. And it was a rough track, and normally you can't really push a stock bike how you want to, at a pro level because it doesn't react well. It doesn't usually react very well. So, and I pushed it. I did like 230s on it, and I was super comfortable and happy on it. And then that's kind of what kind of kicked my butt in gear. Like, man, maybe we need. And the team, obviously, they're like, man, maybe we need to go back to trying some more stock stuff. And the bike's not bad. It's good.
Was that a stock factory edition, like the new frame?
Yeah. New frame. It was actually Marias's test bike.
Yep.
It was super fun.
Yeah.
Chase Sexton here on the show, brought to you by the folks at Renthal. Renthal.com. Please check them out if you can. Factory Honda, Factory Kawasaki, and of course Red Bull KTM using Renthal. Chase, we know you're at Baker's Factory, but you're not doing you're doing your own thing, working with your Peter Park and your own training program, Vial as well. But do you ride with those guys? Do you do the motos exactly like those guys, or do you do your own thing, riding wise?
No, we do our own program, but we're like on the track at the same time. So
okay. All right.
We do the same sessions. We on the track at the same time. Like we're all talking.
Yeah.
Alden's been really cool. Like it's honestly, like it's been really fun. I was saying this to, I don't know who I was talking to today. Maybe it was Levi, because Levi obviously trains me, but now I'm at Baker's. Like we don't ride together, but it's been really fun. Like riding with Aaron, Malcolm, RJ.
Yep.
Christian's been hurt, but and then having Tom there has been really really cool. And I'm in the B. They call it the B shop where the amateurs are.
Yep.
Or Casey, and then the few amateurs they have, and it's been really fun. It's relaxing. And yeah, I've been enjoying it. Being able to do my work and being in private is like I really like that. And it's been nothing but positive.
Okay, I just didn't know if you were like, hey, I'm doing my motos at 11, and those guys already did their motos at 10. You know what I mean? I didn't know how that kind of worked. Like that.
No, way. We don't do the same laps, but like when they're on the track, I'm out there as well. Like we try to stay somewhat close if the watering schedule is good. And it's going smooth.
Chris and I were talking before the show. Did you see kind of Carmichael's quote on his podcast about you're switching to KTM?
Yeah, I saw it.
Okay. Oh boy.
Oh god.
Yeah, I saw it.
Any thoughts?
I mean, to be honest, he's not wrong. Like, I mean, it's the harsh truth. He's not really wrong. So
right.
Yeah, I don't really have any comment on it.
Let's talk about the Star Yamaha,
though. No, not that far.
I know.
Everything else, like he's just, the Star thing's not true. But I think everything else he's saying, like, you kind of just gotta, and even RV, like you're where you're at, so you gotta make it work, and that's kind of the mindset I've kind of taken on. Yeah,
I agree. Right. I think it. I was just asking if you had seen it. I didn't really think of it as far as a negative comment, but just like the GOAT doesn't really say much on the TV show. I'd probably like him to say more, and I thought that was a pretty hot take for Ricky.
Yeah, it was a pretty hot take. I was kind of not expecting it.
Right. Me
I
neither.
I don't really watch the show, but I was getting it sent to me, and I mean, it's hard to argue with Ricky. So, and he's pretty honest about stuff.
Yeah. Did you, speaking of that, watching the TV show, watching the race itself, we had a caller right before you talk about the broadcast, and I get a lot of DMs about it. And Chris and I don't know if you heard us, we're just like, it's fine. Like it's not great. It's not perfect. When you watch the TV show, do you think it's okay? Do you wish it got better in certain areas or aspects of it? Or are you fine with it?
If I'm being honest, I watched it with the volume off.
Okay. All right. Yeah.
Exactly.
Yeah. Just,
I watch it with, I don't watch with the volume on. I like to watch and dissect what goes on, but I turn the volume off.
Right.
I'd rather not listen to stuff.
Yeah. And then as far as watching with the volume off, like everything, you're fine with like the way they cover it and everything? Like. Yeah.
What I was trying to. Were you guys saying something like this weekend where there was like a pass being made and they went straight to the crowd?
They went to the crowd.
I saw your tweet about it. I saw your tweet about it.
It was something. Yeah. I just think it was honestly a mistake. I don't think they meant to do that because it was really.
I mean, I think it's pretty good. I mean, honestly, like when I'm at the race, I watched. I mean, obviously, besides my races, I watched the rest of the broadcast, and I mean the LCQs are great content there. So I don't know. I like it. I think it's good.
Right. What's your take so far on the MXGP series? This Prado dude, he's handling these guys.
He's honestly, he's. I don't know. This year, I'm not that I didn't watch it before, but I wasn't like super in tune with what was going on, and like this year I watched the whole first race like both motos, 250, 450, and then I woke up on Saturday, watched the qualifying race in my bed. Like, I've been pretty in tune with it, and honestly, like, last weekend, Prado was not to, like, blow smoke, but he, looking-wise, like, his riding, like, his turns, everything was really good. Like, he's super smooth. Doesn't look like he's trying that hard. I mean, you can obviously tell he's trying, but he just looks more connected with the track than everybody else at the moment.
Yeah,
but I think, honestly, him coming over here and racing Supercross helped him, because everyone, when he was doing that, everyone else was just preseason training. Like, there's nothing like racing, and I feel like he's just got that jump start on everybody at this point. Like, he's ready to race, and you can see that from the get-go. Like, he's like, looks connected, looks at one with his bike, and it's pretty nice to watch at the moment.
I was one of those guys when he stayed the extra week to do whatever race that was, San Francisco. I'm like, man, he's going to have like a month. That's it to ride moto before the first round. I was like, that doesn't seem like good enough. Or I guess once again I was wrong because
I mean, right? It's pretty hard to argue with what he's done. I mean, I think everyone like Feb, Geyser, Hurlings, all these other guys, they're going to get better. And they're gonna start building up steam. But I mean, if he gets off to say he wins a few more races, he's gonna have a pretty healthy points gap to not like he needs to win again. But I mean, compared to last year, he's won. I think he won 2 GPs last year, and he's won. I mean, won the first 2 this year. So
and then
it's pretty cool. I mean, he's kind of silenced everybody that said like last year.
And his fitness has gotten better.
Like he's gotten better, and he's also. I mean, he's pretty much shutting everybody up at the moment.
No, for sure.
Yeah, because he would win the first motos last year, and then he was never really consistent on his second moto.
And he's banking these qualifying race points.
Yeah.
He's just banking those.
Dude, his qualifying race was, I think the qualifying race is almost the most impressive race of the weekend.
Yeah.
I mean, he was gone.
I've been surprised, like, watching the highlights.
And honestly, I'm giving credit to Lewis. Lewis has kind of got me on the GP kick right now, too.
Oh, boy.
Don't tell
him in there.
Listen, I mean, since he really took control of your ship, you've only got one win. I don't know if that's concerning. I don't know if anything to do with captain.
Yeah, you gotta trust the process. We're building up steam now. We're pulling out of port at the moment.
It's round 12.
Yeah, no, I mean, like I said, I've said it multiple times. Better late than never.
Yeah,
obviously, we'd like to figure this out. I don't know, about 12 rounds ago.
Yeah.
Like, I've been telling people, like, this is where I should have been preseason.
Yeah.
Obviously, we weren't there, but yeah, we're pulling out of port, so we're ready to set sail.
Oh boy, here we go.
I just have something. He mentioned something earlier. You said about fun. I had fun this weekend, and I think about these things in a literal in a standpoint where the normal guy watching you, because this is where our sport's at. We watch you guys. You guys are elite of the elite. We wish we could ride like you guys. You know, sometimes we try to mimic what you guys do. There's kids, amateur kids, that are mimicking Chase Sexton style. And when you talk to racers that are finished racing, they're like, I fucking hated racing. I hated it. It's just, you had fun riding a stock bike. You're riding. It's just like there's so much pressure and there's so much expectation on yourself because that's what you want. You want to win. You want to do these things that you almost forget sometimes where you started. Like, you started riding because you loved riding. The amateur, you grew up and it was fun riding. And now you're at a point where, like, this is a job. This is what I have to do. And some of that is gone. And then you get slapped in the face with the stock bike, and you're like, oh, wow, this is really cool. Do you ever, like, sit back and think about that?
Yeah, I mean, we all started riding for fun. Like,
right.
I mean, and I've said it multiple times. When I was younger, I mean, I didn't really be a pro until I was competing, like, for B titles. And then A, like, obviously it was already signed, but I never really took it as, like, oh, this is going to be my job, and like, I always did it for fun. And then now, I think a lot of it for me is my dad being, like, my family being a big part of my program. Like, my dad's very serious, and obviously is he can be tough at times, but he always reminds me that like, we do this for fun. Like, if you're not having fun, it's one, you're not going to do as good, and two, it's not worth it. So I think also I ride as a whole. Like, I ride off a lot of a feel. Like, I was talking to Aaron this week, like, with bike setup and whatnot. I'm like, how he rides his bike, like, he's like, I just look for position. Like, the feeling doesn't really matter to me. I'm like, for me, I ride completely off the feel, and that's how I have fun when I'm like bouncing around the track and planning the bike where I want to go. That's fun to me, and that's why this weekend I had fun racing. Like that makes me want to ride better, having fun, and I don't know, when I'm practicing and I'm enjoying it. When I'm having fun, I'm going faster. So that's kind of been a negative this year, just maybe not having as much fun. It honestly plays a big part on how fast I'm going, which I'd like to be able to ride, even when I'm not having fun, just as fast. But that's just how I work, and if it's not fun, it's not really.
Okay,
it doesn't work well for me.
This is perfect then. It can segue into our next guest here before we hang up with Chase, because Chase is talking about fun and having fun. We have a gentleman on the line, Chase, that said this was the worst race of his career. He wanted to ghost ride his bike
Phil.
and walk off the track, and he was not having fun at all. Phil, what's going on, buddy?
Hey, fellas, how are we tonight?
Well, Chase is having fun, Phil.
Yeah, it's such fucking bullshit I get put on here with the dude that had one of the best nights ever, and I'm one of the guys that had one of the worst nights ever. You know,
Well, maybe Chase can tell you how to have fun.
Yeah, making some of that rub off on you.
Yeah.
Hey, I watched the club video today from Indy, and the first segment of it is just Phil ripping into Garrett for not giving him enough time. And dude, I was sitting on my couch dying laughing. I'm like, I have a lot of those days at the practice track. I get angry, but when I'm riding, I'm usually having fun. Obviously, Phil didn't have fun
Chase,
this weekend.
how can Phil have fun in Seattle? How could he have had more fun?
Dude, it's all about flow. If you have no flow on that track, you're never gonna have fun. You're never gonna have fun.
You hear the big deep breaths in the back.
Phil, where was your flow?
Flow. That's
Start
all I
fucking
needed,
hopping
just a
around on
little
the
bit of-
track, Phil.
Yeah, for sure. Hopping off the track into tough blocks onto fucking plywood is where I was going to end up. Dude, I had such a fucking bad night, dude. Chase, about lap 6, I went on-off after the mechanics area, and I almost clicked third and just let my bike go off the fucking double.
I would have been into it, to be honest.
No. Chase, I'm telling you, I was 0.2 seconds away from fucking just letting that bitch eat off that face. You know, and I
read your Instagram post. I'm like, dude, Phil had no fun out there.
No, I didn't. I don't know what happened. I was locked in on the starts. My starts were phenomenal, and then I rolled around the first corner, and then I seen the ruts, and my butthole puckered up, and then that was it. Game over.
Did you get arm pump?
No, I wish I did, because then I'd have an excuse. I just couldn't. I couldn't go. Chase, I was rolling the fucking whoops, rolling them. You know.
Dude, I was
I
talking
keep saying,
to Levi today.
Dude, yeah. I keep saying, Garrett needed to give me 5 seconds on practice. Well, Kitchen needed to give me a full fucking lap head start, because I got lapped on Saturday. So there we are.
Dude, he was saying today, he's like, dude, I feel like most of the people in my class were just doubling the whoops. I'm like, well, they weren't doing that in the 450 class. But now that you say you're singling through them, that's kind of fun.
Yeah,
but you're good in the whoops. I don't know why you would see. Like, I would say, Phil, I have one distinct – I have two, actually. I have Las Vegas qualifying, 2018, the only time I ever got yelled at by Phil.
Mm-hmm.
And then I also have Salt Lake City 2018. Phil and I went tooth and nail.
Yes. Yep. I forgot all about that one.
Me in the whoops.
Mm-hmm.
Killing me in the whoops.
Yeah, all I got is the whoops. But when they're like that, where you guys can double and triple them or rhythm, I'm fucked. If I can't skim, I can't double the fucking whoops or triple them. If I can't blitz them, I'm out. You know, and I just couldn't pull some of the rhythms. Like when the track changes, like I was good for the first couple laps, Chase, but then where they fixed the track went away, then I was screwed. Game over.
What were you doing in the section before the whoops?
How you gonna fucking blow me out like that on fucking radio, dude?
No, because
I was going 2-3-3-2 until the ruts came back, and then I was just doubling my way through them, dude. It was so bad. It was honestly the worst 15+1 I've ever done in my life, dude. And then I come back and I'm sitting there. Oh, I know. And then I'm pouting in the fucking rig, and I'm just watching you and Coop go tooth and nail, and I'm like, are you fucking kidding me? You know, so impressive.
Imagine having to do 20+1. I mean, I know you've done them, but
No, you don't think I fucking know? I'm like, dude, I don't know how they're doing that right now.
so,
You know?
I don't know who has. I mean, you should see some of the tantrums I threw after the heat race this weekend. You would have thought that I lost the championship. I was so mad after the heat race because one, I stalled it, and two, then Tomac passed me. I could have ghost rode my bike into the pits. And then also after qualifying this weekend, like, nothing that the fans did wrong, but the fans are like, I'm walking back to the pits. I'm not.
I know.
Dude, the qualifying was I qualified fourth, and I wanted to just shoot somebody. And then I got, like, fans. I got to be somewhat, like, approachable.
Yeah.
And, dude, I just lost my mind.
Eli rode really good in that heat. I props to Eli. He was on it. That's the way I looked at it.
Yeah, well, maybe mad.
Yeah. Okay, all right. Fair enough.
Dude, I actually almost beat the piss out of one of your employees after I was so mad after my heat race. Frankie Latham sends me a text.
I knew you were going to say him.
What did he say?
Yeah. Oh, fucking Frankie and Jade. You know how they chirp me all the time?
Yeah.
You know, well, I'm cool. I got thick skin. Well, after the heat race, I had a fucking meltdown. Okay, I get back and I get a text from Frankie. It says, "Quit holding Cole Thompson up."
Oh my!
And I'm
God,
like, so I send him a text back, freaking out. You know what I mean? And then Frankie has the balls to come over to the semi because he's walking over to Dunlop, and he goes, "Hey, quit holding Cole up out there." And I snapped. Like, if I could have got a hold of him, but I have my boots on, I was going to choke Frankie out with it.
Yeah, you and I were teammates.
Yeah, it's like they just
set the semi on fire.
Yeah, they just needed to wait. They need to give you some time, Phil. But
Frankie gets into me gnarly. Like he'll come back. He didn't say it this weekend, but like when I was on Honda last year and I had like a close or I'd fall while leading, which I mean that was pretty much half the races last year. He'd come over and say, "Hey, nice try." I'm like, dude, I want.
That's pretty bad for. I mean, come on, Frankie.
Dude, he does not care. He does not care.
No, he doesn't care. He doesn't care. That's fine. And like literally, I had just got my helmet off. I went up into the rider's hut and I'm fucking punching the fucking couch because I'm so fucking mad. And then my fucking phone dings and it's Frankie. Hey, quit holding Cole Thompson up. And I'm just fucking redlining.
I'm glad you didn't check RacerX Twitter because I believe I said Phil is not jumping the jumps.
Dude, I didn't. Fuck.
Hey, this weekend though, we're in our last closed stadium of the year, so should be dry.
Fun, Phil. Fun. Have fun like Chase.
I will in St. Louis last weekend. I did not have any fun, and the fact that Chase said he had fun this past weekend is mind blowing. So,
all right.
Well, it was the first race of the year for me. So let's just say that.
Yeah, well, good for you. You rode awesome. So it was actually pretty badass to watch you and Coop go at it. So
it was
very
cool.
impressied.
Yep.
Yeah, thank you for that. Actually, I would appreciate that.
Thanks, Chase, for trying to talk Phil into having some fun. It didn't really work. Sound like it worked, but yeah.
Well, it's a work in progress.
It is.
It's not gonna happen.
It is.
Yeah, 18 years in fucking progress, Chase, and we haven't figured it out.
Thanks for the call, Chase. Thank you, buddy.
Yeah, no problem.
See you, Chase. Thank you.
Hey, mate.
All right, that's Chase Sex, everybody, brought to you by Renthal. Off-Road Warehouse, bringing you Phil Nicoletti on the show. This is the ORW butt patch you see on the back of Marchbanks, and Phil saw it going right by him when Marchbanks in the heat and in the main